Johannesburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse delivered her maiden State of the City address this morning. In her maiden speech, the mayor said everyone in the city has a responsibility to make Johannesburg better. Let's go to our reporter Govan Whittles, who was there covering the State of the City address. Govan, give us more details of what the mayor has said. She's been at the helm for a couple of months now.
Yes, Maseko. Well, the mayor has now concluded her maiden State of the City address here at the Braamfontein chambers of the city of Johannesburg. And there was a lot that was outlined there, not only the targets that they have to deal with vandalism, also to collect more revenue from the city's residents. But one of the major talking points has been the coalition government's plan for load shedding, power cuts in general, and they appear to be taking a route that was followed by the city of Cape Town. The mayor, Mpho Phalatse, announcing plans to supplement the Johannesburg shortfall of power with independent power procured from independent sources, from small-scale generators. But before we speak to the MMC for Environmental Affairs, MMC Michael Son, let's just listen to the mayor and what she had to say about the power situation in Johannesburg.
The multi-party government will be hosting an energy indaba in the month of May, gathering all relevant and related stakeholders for their collective input into resolving Joburg's energy crisis. And this is a move which will see us introducing an energy mix, partnering with independent power producers and small-scale energy generators, reducing our reliance on Eskom, and ending these rolling blackouts.
Govan, and I think that's quite important in terms of our energy crisis. We know that Johannesburg is the most affected. Did she say anything, though, also about investment plans in the city?
She did, and of course they're going on a big investment drive, and they'll need to get enough money to buy this independent power, and they'll also have an investment drive that'll be elaborated on by the MMC for Economic Development. We're expecting them to take this speech on the road. Before we get to that, let's speak to the MMC Michael Son now. He's the MMC for Environmental Services. Thank you so much, MMC. So, big plans on supplementing the shortfall in electricity. Exactly how do you plan to do it?
Well, we certainly need to look at this. You know, you can imagine a load shedding at stage 4 in the city of Johannesburg is probably, stage 8 for some other smaller municipalities. So it's certainly very important for us to look into procuring additional power from independent power producers. And this is certainly something that we are working on. I've already started to work with the city power team to ensure that we go out to those independent power producers. We'll work a program, and this is really to plug the gap where we have load shedding, so we can remove the Joburg residents and businesses out of this rolling blackout that we have to suffer, of course, as a result of the Eskom load shedding schedule.
So how long do you think it'll take before we can see some of these load shedding problems resolved?
Well, we are working on already, sort of for the next 2 weeks, we certainly will come out with a program of action internally, and then we'll go out with a public participation process. And in that, we are hoping a lot of the power producers, independent power producers, will then come forward and say to us, City Power Joburg, we are happy to work with you, and these are the terms and conditions commercially, and certainly that we'll keep our residents appraised every step of the way.
All right, thank you so much, MMC Michael Son. You did mention the investment drive that the city wants to go on, and they've also announced a number of other plans in the city. Among them, plans to build at least 10 more clinics in the city. They're trying to revamp how they deal with public health, digitizing the public health system, so you can expect better record keeping at clinics around the city of Johannesburg following this State of the City address. But what about these 10 clinics? Let's talk to the MMC of Health now, Ashley Sauls. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Sauls. So 10 new clinics in 3 years. Where exactly are they going, and what are the priority areas?
Well, of course, it's going to be spread across the city in all 7 regions, because, of course, the entire city is a priority for us. And, of course, I'm obviously excited about the speech of the mayor today.
All right, and when it comes to the clinics, we know that they've become a big problem in the city. You've gone to go visit clinics that aren't working properly. you want to build 10 more clinics. What about the state of the clinics right now? What are you going to do to improve them?
Of course, that is a priority. The idea of building new clinics is not to overlook the current state of the current clinics. Of course, that's what we're working on as we speak now. One of the first things that we are doing, as you know, leadership is key in changing the face of health within our city. So the Department of Health has been without an executive director for over 2 years, and I'm glad to announce that as we speak now, we are ready to appoint another executive director, and from there we are able to filter down and ensure better service delivery for our people in different clinics.
All right, thank you so much. That's Ashley Sauls, is the MMC of Health. We'll also be speaking to some of the administrators in the city of Johannesburg, particularly around the issue with the city manager. You know, he's bumping heads right now with the head of Group Forensics, General Shadrack Sabia, and it looks like a new city manager will be appointed in the next few days, 2 weeks. Another motion regarding that expected here in council. So let's listen again as we go to the mayor and what she had to say about investment in the city and what their plans are. What's up?
The party government will ensure an uninterrupted supply of clean running water to all residents through strategic capital investments initiatives aimed at addressing water infrastructure backlogs as well as securing future growth. We aim to invest 2.8 billion rands within the next 3 financial years to improve the city's water services infrastructure. Joburg Water's Marginalised Area Programme will ensure that informal settlements are also catered for in their basic water and basic sewer needs.
All right, Govan, I see you've spoken to some of her cabinet members. Of course, they'll welcome what she said, but how was her speech received by opposition parties, for instance?
Not pleased at all by what the mayor had to say, claiming that she's talking about a good city with big plans, and yet the city itself has roads which are in a state of disarray. Electricity supply is intermittent at best, and the supply of water is also in a dismal state at the moment. The mayor did respond directly to each of those problems and outlined the plans for the city which need to be formulated, taken to residents, approved, and then implemented. But we got a sense from the opposition councillors that they didn't feel that there was enough detail in the mayor's speech, and don't seem to believe that they will be able to implement some of these solutions. Should be said, though, that while this State of the City address was taking place and the mayor was walking into the chambers, the JMPD and the MMC for Safety, David Tembe, was announcing the arrest of 7 more people for stealing copper cables after they stopped a truck which was loaded with stolen cables this morning. And he says that operation will only intensify as they continue through this week and as they take the speech on the road. It's clear that these opposition councillors will be keeping a close eye on the coalition government here in the city of Johannesburg and holding them accountable in council as they've done on many occasions. We will speak to some of the other opposition councillors throughout the day and bring you that commentary as we get it. It's back to you for now.
All right, Govan Whittles, after that State of the City address by the Johannesburg Mayor, let's leave it there for now. Let's take you through